Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to DreamHack Open Summer, this European division, and my name is Dinko. I'm going to be joined by Hawker, and so far it's so good in terms of the matches we've been able to get. It's been some incredible maps so far. ForZe, I thought they were going to fall short in the second map, but they clawed their way back in from the first half, and they close it out in overtime.
Yeah, we've been pretty lucky so far. We've had some big plays, we've had some close maps. And Nuke should be one that hopefully delivers as well, because it's another map that's good for both of these teams. Last time these teams played, Complexity actually picked Nuke and ended up losing it. So that shows both these teams confident on this map, and it shows that ForZe have definitely got the capability to take this one.
Yeah, they definitely do. They're a team that likes to play this map. We generally never see them pick it too often. It's always kind of there as a third map, an option for them to play. And I've cast a lot of ForZe, and like I said, they love a good bit of overtime. We have got a knife round to decide as to which side you're going to be starting on. And generally when it comes to this, Nuke is obviously traditionally looked at as the CT-sided map, but we have actually started to see teams win a lot more T rounds. I think both of these teams have shown that they're quite consistently good on the T side. So that'll be exciting as well to see it across the board. I think we're going to get a real close game here. Nuke is one of the maps that's actually quickly becoming one of my favorites to watch, honestly, at the moment. I'm loving the way the teams are playing at the moment. I feel like it's in a good place. And as a third map decider, a close affair, it would be the best way to close out this excellent series.
Yeah, hopefully we get a good one here. We've been graced with some great maps to begin with, and Nuke is going to be the decider. We're heading underway. Complexity starting on that CT side. Fair bit of utility for them as well. Rush picking up a full set of nades, while over on the ForZe side of things, Flick gets dropped that P250, and Jerry gets a nade and a flash as they nade open that door to look for some early fights.
Well, BlameF is just ready. He wants to take the fights, but no one's actually given him an opportunity at all. And now finally they present themselves, but BlameF is out of position. He's under pressure from multiple different players, and it's going to work out for FaceCrack. BlameF going down, a man advantage in play here for ForZe. They will try to follow up upon it. Flit with the P250, trying to take the fight up towards heaven. One player up there, it's Rush, and he falls. Follow-up kill potentially coming in here for Flit. What a whiffed pistol round this is overall. Config fighting back. He's going to get one kill. Moves forward to try and shut down another, and that's clean. Finally, clean and clinical headshot. But Jerry and Amazer, alongside the power, still holding that man advantage and the side itself. Time ticking. And the post-plant positions are pretty solid here from ForZe as well. So Complexity are not going to have an easy time of things. Both coming in from the same positions. The power takes down Config. Now Obo with it all to do. Has to pull off the incredible 1 versus 3. And it just ain't going to happen. 1-0 up for ForZe.
Definitely a scrappy pistol round, I think it's fair to say, especially to begin with. But at the end there, ForZe do a good job setting up those crossfires. You see the early kills coming in. FaceCrack just about getting that one before dying. And then these spots are so good for them. Almazer behind the old vent gets himself a pretty easy couple of kills to close it out and to give ForZe a quick win. We were saying earlier, though, Complexity are very good in these second round ForZe buys. Let's see if they can live up to that here as Obo dishes out some damage.
Oh, Miz is going to be diving down in towards this B bomb site. It's actually slowed it down a little bit. Definitely the right call. With that smoke, Obo actually only has to really look at one angle, unless ForZe to run through the smoke, and that, again, is an ill-advised play, so definitely just hang on. You've got enough map control where you can slow down the pace a little bit here. Not too long. You don't want to give up too much map control, especially against these pistols, where they're likely to get aggressive to try and take some space, because they have to. And that's exactly what Complexity are doing over towards B. You can see the advanced stance they have over towards the ramp. That will allow them some quick information. And no one's actually come down in towards the lower site yet for ForZe. Instead, they're going to be gathering back all on the top site, heading in towards A. So power outside of the hut, utility coming in the doorway. Config yet to see anybody, but that's going to change. And somehow not getting the kill on towards Jerry. The bullet just skimming past him. And now the aggression coming in. BlameF shuts down FaceCrack. The power finally getting a kill back in, but the Deagles, they can do more. Config actually tries to switch the weapon on the floor, and that costs him. Now it's just BlameF trying to rattle him behind. Nearly gets the double kill. They lost track of him. They had no idea where he was. And look at the HP left in the last two players. He definitely could have pulled that off. But it's ForZe that walk away with a second round win.
Yeah, Complexity continue to be dangerous in those second rounds, even after losing the pistol. But this time, not quite able to get it going. As you said, Blame F, just the reposition at the end there, almost nets him 2 free kills. That could have been the difference. But unfortunately, with the MAC-10, he's unable to get those kills as quickly as he would have liked. And it looks like we've got an early pause here. I assume this will be technical, considering it's so early on into the game. I think for complexity, they shouldn't have too much to work with in this round either. You've got Blame F buying up the Deeg, but other than that, I wouldn't be surprised if most of the other players save. Config's the man who's got some extra money, so he might just want to save and make sure they can get an AWP drop into the next. And that might give ForZe a really good opportunity to farm some cash with these MAC-10s.
And that'll allow that economy game to go in favor of ForZe early on. And we know how difficult it can be to break down the T economy once it gets going. So that's going to be a real added bonus for ForZe. If you are just tuning in, and generally some people still don't notice the graphic in the top right, just want to turn your attentions to it. Overpass 16-11 in favor of Complexity, actually. And Complexity ended up falling on Mirage. That was the winner in the form of ForZe. So again, they're winning their opponent's map picks, Alex. And that's a weird thing that doesn't happen every day. But clearly this veto, they do share quite a few maps in the pool. And it's likely to go back and forth in the series. But here on Nuke, this is anybody's game at this point.
Yeah, do you want a fun fact about Nuke, Dinko? I'll give it to you quickly. Complexity are 15 for 3 on Nuke in the last 3 months. And those 3 teams they've lost to are Na'Vi, Big, and then ForZe. That's pretty good competition for ForZe. That shows that they are definitely going to be putting up a fight here. And they've already got themselves off to a good start with the 2-0 lead.
Yeah, it's kind of hilarious how ForZe are just kind of in the mix against teams that are a nuisance to Complexity. And I think it kind of shows it's the online era of Counter-Strike, and ForZe, they're gods in the online era of Counter-Strike. They're just good at online Counter-Strike. It's where they were born. This team have played here the majority of their matches, their careers. So they're well used to this. And Jerry, he's going to take himself 1 kill. Man advantage in play here, doubled for the T side. ForZe looking for a little bit more, and they just get all the money picked up. This is what we're talking about. The MAC-10 taking names.
Yeah, it's been all the MAC-10s so far as well, so the money flowing for ForZe. Amazon will get that bomb down, and Blame F will be looking for damage at the end here. Not the start the Complexity we're looking for, but once they get those guns out, we'll see if things can change. I think something that Potter pointed out on the desk was that Rush should have more opportunities to make different plays here. When you're playing on that B side of Mirage on the CT side, you're kind of limited in what you can do. But he's playing more on that top hut position on the A side of the map. There's all sorts of things you can do. There's all sorts of switch-ups you can go for. So that might give him some more opportunities to try and make some plays and to catch his opponents out. But it is indeed ForZe getting up to that clean 3-0 start to this game. And I'll be interested to see if ForZe stick with any of those MAC-10s, because we know they're a team that are capable of throwing some aggressive rounds into the mix. If they want to do that here, sticking with MAC-10s against some players who might not have helmets, that might be an option for them. Yeah, there we go. 3 MAC-10s carried over, Dinko. They're going for it.
And a nice kill from Flit as well towards outside. He'll get rid of Blame F. A 4 versus 4. Poison. Sitting back in behind Credit Card. He's yet to get a single kill. But he has got the AWP in his hands now, and this is where he does his best work, especially on a map like Nuke. He sits back in the hut. On the garage it is. And Config with a Molotov. Could try and burn him out of his position, but the smoke's going to go down. Another push forward into the site. Almir's going to face crack with the MAC-10s taking kills. It's Poison and Oboe left alone into a 2 versus 3. And it's a man advantage in play now for ForZe as they move forward. Poison, that's quick. A second kill for him in the round. He wants more, and he's going to peek into the open, but face crack, he's there. And Oboe now left alone into this clutch. He's got the first kill, but he's taking so much damage. And Jerry is going to peek, taking him down 4-0 for ForZe. And I feel like that could have been much better for Complexity.
Yeah, it was those 2 Mac 10 kills onto the A site that seemed to make all the difference. Config there just having to sit in the smoke. I think he was hoping he would draw the attention so his teammate could do the damage, but that didn't end up happening. So the Mac 10s get 2 entries onto A, and then Jerry was able to recover that AK from his teammate's dead body previously, and that's what helped them close out the round. So, I was going to say great start for ForZe until that backstab came in, but we'll let them off because they've got a 4-0 lead, Dinko. It's all good. As long as it doesn't lose you the round.
I mean, that's always kind of what we can go with. You know, as long as you don't lose the round, it's fine. If you lose the round, that's even worse. And at this point, we take a look at what ForZe have. So it's a lot of damage on board, that's for sure. On Miser, looking for the fight, he will get rid of Config. Finally, first blood draw. We had a lot of damage being done, but no kills. That's been changed. ForZe with the opening. And this is going to slow it down. They're not going to commit to anything just yet. They feel confident enough to slow this right down. Flip towards outside behind red container. They have utility still available here for ForZe. They're just taking their time, not wanting to make any errors. Waiting for Complexity more like to make an error of their own.
I wonder if Complexity are aware how much damage they've done, because Poison could just go for the chest shots with a scout if he knows they're low, but I'm not sure that's going to be a factor. Blame F, though, up close. Good kill onto the first man. This crossfire is in play. There are other players ready to fight, and there it is. Obo and Blame F doing all the work between them, and with 25 seconds left, the bomb is in no man's land.
It's this line that, well, there's a huge chance here for Complexity to walk away with this. Jerry just dives down, looking the wrong way. He was focused in towards main, and that's going to allow Obo to find him looking the wrong way. So Power again, this time a 1 versus 4 with 9 seconds. It's not going to happen for him. He's completely out of it. He's going to have an opportunity, but not a single kill. Now he runs away. He doesn't want to get chased after. And look how many AKs they've been able to find. All 4 remaining players walk away with AK-47s.
Yes, pretty low time left on the clock here as they went for this play to try and get towards heaven, to try and wrap round. And Blame F's position is one they hadn't dealt with. I think if they had more time, they might have pushed players into Garage to clear the backside of that blue container. But they didn't have too much time left, so they just walked through to try and sneak on up. And as soon as Blame F spots them initially, they know they're in such great shape, their Complexity. They know they can just fight as 3 players, fight as a squad. As long as they don't die too fast, they're going to have those crossfires. They're going to be able to make sure they get those trade kills. And they don't even really need trade kills because they just get all the kills straight up in those aim fights. So nice for Complexity to get that first round on the board. ForZe obviously still having money, but they did just take a timeout ahead of this round, interestingly enough. I definitely think ForZe are one of the teams who use these early timeouts more than most.
Yeah, Complexity are a team... ForZe are a team where they kind of need it. I feel like this team sometimes are very good at the simple stuff, but when they try and overcomplicate it or slow it down and have a mid-round call, it's usually where they get in their own heads. And they can confuse themselves a little bit, and it starts to spiral out of control. I think the last round and a couple of rounds on Overpass was the perfect example to that. But here, they go for the tactical pause to try and discuss the approach going into this next round. Another slower approach, but they have got the players towards outside. So they initially take the control, then they slow it down. This time they've got plenty of map control and they're ready to hit him. The classic ForZe execute, but the Molotov coming through. Complexity still have utility. And they're going to slow it down, forcing ForZe back into a more passive setup overall. They'll leave 1 player towards outside. The rest gathering towards the A-bomb side. Maybe put a little bit of pressure in towards the ramp, trying to split, allow Flit to be the nuisance later into the rounds here. And if they do decide to go towards ramp, which they seem to have slowed it down a little bit, it would be Obo waiting for them. But they are just testing the waters in towards A, seeing what's going on, trying to force the Complexity to bite. Hasn't really worked just yet. So now they gather in the A side.
Oh, this smoke goes out, but Config's got a pretty good angle to spray through if he gets the timing right. Rush gets that first kill. Where's the trade? It's not coming in. Rush gets a second before he falls, but Zapower is there with one of his own. Into a 3v3. That bomb is arriving on the site, but I think Config, well, he's been dealt with apparently on the site itself. Obo now coming in from above. It's all action in this round, and Obo gets that kill he was looking for. Turned into a 2v2. BlameF is still down those vents, though, and Obo's about to be flanked on out. Flick goes and gets that kill. Zapower gets one of his own. He actually got BlameF down the vents there, taking that fight against him and getting ForZe a 5th round on the board.
They just sort of sprint in towards the A-bomb site. Very simple counter-strike, just taking those aim duels. And I like that round from ForZe overall. They take the initial control towards outside, they slow it down, and it didn't really make too many mistakes. They figured out what they wanted to do. They came up with a plan towards the end, and it worked out. They executed it perfectly. 5-1. Good damage done. FaceCrack into power, immediately taking lots of damage on board. FaceCrack on 39 HP, power on 49. They're going to be quickly trying to seize a little bit of control back in towards Secret. FaceCrack already down here, but Config, he's waiting.
This is something you notice from a lot of teams, is that who is normally their entry fragger on other maps oftentimes becomes a space creator at Yard here on Nuke. I know that FaZe do this a lot with Rain as well. They send him Yard just to try and run distraction, just to try and gain some ground for his team. And you can see FaceCrack has nestled himself into the vents nicely. Config might be aware this is a possibility at least. You can see he's got his crosshair trained on this position. It's definitely something for Complexity to think about right here. Rush still waiting on this A side of the map. ForZe found success on this A site in the very previous round, but this time, BlameF might have something to say about that. Opening up the round with the first kill. He wants to get more as well, but unable to land that second shot.
Okay, that's a nice simple shot from Zapower. He'll take that. BlameF walking in towards the crosshair. Config would get one back in, but look at Flit's position. This could be huge. Spots Rush looking the wrong way. Now he strikes and Poison can't react quick enough. Flit shuts him down as well. And that might just be the round here for ForZe if they can get rid of Config. The bomb's there. And Config, he's so good. Manages one from the position. Now it's on Obo. And 1 HP is the difference between the round win for Complexity and the round win from ForZe. That's huge. Obo pulls it off. I thought Flit might have done it here, you know. Comes in from heaven. It's on to Config. He needs at least 1 kill when he's in this close corner. He gets that kill, and that's the turning tide. Obo swings on by and just about manages to take down Flit. It's going to be a round for Complexity. It's not the cleanest of round wins. They haven't got off to the quickest of starts here on Nuke.
Yeah, both teams fully reinvesting into this round. After that one comes so close, after the FAMAS just about wins the one-on-one, it's ForZe who are much worse for wear. They've only got themselves 2 guns out. And again, whenever they have these 2 guns, they're normally going to put them in the hands of these 2 players. So Power gets the AWP, Flit gets the AK. We've seen this before. We know that those are normally the star players of this squad. Once again, FaceCrack trying to make a similar play to the previous round. Gets behind the smokes. I think he's going to go and move down Secret shortly. BlameF still sitting in the back of Garage to be able to spot anyone moving into Mini. But indeed, FaceCrack just getting into this advanced position. Wouldn't be surprised if this is a dynamic we see evolve throughout this game. FaceCrack just taking this control, trying to make sure Complexity have other things to think about. And ForZe keep on going with this slow style of play.
Oh. Flit just immediately gets rid of BlameF. Man advantage picked up for ForZe. Now Config holding on as FaceCrack and Zapower. They're starting to walk forward. Config. Oh my god, the timing is absolutely awful. He pulls the smoke grenade. And oh no, it could be even worse here for Rush. He's going to turn around. He does catch Jerry before Flit spots him. And now it's on Poison and Obo. A 2 versus 4. 17 seconds left in play here. It's going to be quite difficult. But Poison, he's going to spot one. That's FaceCrack going down. Bomb planted. And well, that's another opportunity, but Poison pulled the knife. Oh, he goes back and he still finds the kill. And now it's a 2 versus 2. ForZe don't really have the best post-plant positions either. They're stuck in the site. So Poison and Obo, they can definitely win this. They don't have any utility other than the one flashbang. So that is the one problem for them. But if they move together forward into the site, they can definitely win this. Obo moving forward now, realizes the time is getting low, finds the first kill. Now they know the last player is there, and it's Poison trying to reposition the AWP, dancing around the boxes. Almaze just buying the time, but it doesn't matter. Poison is still quick, and there's just about enough time for the defuse here for Poison. He's gonna pull it off, and Complexity with a third on the board. That's a brilliant retake.
Yeah, so close from Alma, so you can see what he was trying to do, just buy time. But Poison gets gifted a couple of chances to begin with. Remember, this was a 2v4. God. Was that a no-scope?
No, it was a quick scope. But
yeah, I barely saw it. I was going to say, it wasn't in the kill feed as a no-scope, but yeah, I literally didn't see it. So fast. Oh, man, ForZe will be kicking themselves, though, giving up some of those initial chances. Really, really sucks for them there. They must have felt like they had that round in the bag, but then they get stuck with 2 players on the site, and now ForZe have to go down to pistols. So Complexity keep on rolling. As you said, really good retake from them. They landed the shots they had to, even though it comes close at the end. Poison has to land an incredible shot to keep them in and win the round. And now ForZe with the pistols have already used all their nades at the start of this round.
Poison, want to get dinked up, down to 3 HP already. You don't want to be losing Poison. He's just had an absolute blind of a round. He's going to miss a shot, but it's a very difficult shot to hit, especially on low HP. You definitely don't want to be sticking around in those positions. But Jerry moving close to the Tech 9. This could be, he's gone. Poison's going to be gone here. At least he gets 1 kill. There's the trade from Obo. So the AWP, the map control is the more important point here. Can be taken. And Flit just patiently waiting for the overextension of config from Secret. It's not really needed. He might just jiggle for some info, but in doing so, allows Flit to take the easy headshot on the deagle. Sapara comes back in on the P250, and suddenly it's all on Sapara in a 1 versus 2, and he can win this. Quick shot again, up on top, goes to the no-scope, but Rush just rattling shots, making sure he's really dead. And there it is. A round for Complexity, but that was so damn close again.
I like how Rush tried to nade the AWP down to get it at the end there. Gets stuck with the MP9, though, which is a shame.
It's a nice try.
Gotta go for it. No AWP now for Complexity, though. Into this next round. They don't have the money for it. That MP9 actually goes into the hands of Config. I feel like he's got something planned here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some aggression, or maybe he's just going to be playing that close angle at Squeaky where he thinks he can get this SMG to do a bit more damage. Still a very close round in that last one. Complexity coming way too close for comfort in that one, but it's back to 4-5. They're bringing it closer. A bit of ramp aggression from Obo as well. We haven't really seen him take too much ground. We'll be backing away. So Complexity just sitting back. And the starts of these rounds have generally been slow for ForZe. So I think Complexity have realized there's no need to go for that aggression. Normally ForZe are just going to be holding a default. And that's exactly what we see at the start of round number 10.
Well, the execute towards outside, the smoke's up. Blue map. And the secret stairs. You've got ForZe right in front of him. Spray going up, and ForZe looking to try and do more. 40 seconds. Still a good amount of time here for ForZe. Eventually, they're going to have to try and do something as they go in towards ramp. It's Obo immediately taking away Jerry. And there's no trade potential there for ForZe. They just kind of sacrifice Jerry. They're going to try and get Flip back up and towards Heaven. And he has had quite a bit of success from this position. So we'll see if he can make it work again. He's going to start to come around the backside, but Config is good for 1 Poison as well. This is huge. Complexity had the perfect setup on the A-bomb side to deal with this. And even Obo ready for that as well. Pushed it up in towards the lobby, catching out the power. And a 5th round for Complexity. It took a while for Complexity to get into things, but finally, it feels like it was all off the back of that 1 HP clutch from Obo towards the end of the 1 versus 1. As soon as he pulls that off, Complexity have been on a bit of a tear.
It's been very A-focused from ForZe as well. Pretty much every round, they've tried to end up going A with the bomb. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point ForZe switch it up and go for that full-on play down secret off the back of the smokes, but maybe not in this round. blameF getting up close against them, and FaceCrack thought he could get that gun, but Poison was just waiting, watching, and making sure that gun could not be recovered. Power also gets baited in. Solid hold for Complexity against the low buy, and they put themselves into the lead. Good win streak for Complexity to come back into this one. That's the first time they've had the lead here on Nuke.
Yeah, it's definitely been a long road back into things, and actually it feels like a similar scenario on Mirage, but in reverse. When ForZe were down by quite a lot of rounds on Mirage, they clawed it back to go ahead in the half. Complexity this time have had to do that. This time on the more favored side of the CT affair. It's been impressive. Another team effort across the board from pretty much everyone. I think the quietest player on the server, Jerry, has had a few unfortunate scenarios happen to him, but he is an in-game leader after all, and ForZe have a lot of work to do. But another impressive performance from Flit, 12 and 8 right now. He's had a good amount of success, especially in towards Heaven. He's been finding himself up there quite a few times. In the previous round, he lost the battle against Poison. So if Poison's going to try and continue to be this dominant, he has definitely started to step up. For a long while, he had 0 kills, Alex, but now he's on 8 and 7. A lot of impact being delivered.
Ooh, blameF and Poison both trying to contest, but this time Poison's caught alone. Again, it's that man Flit who's been the main man for ForZe so far on Nuke. And in general, I like that Flit, I think, provides a bit more consistency for this ForZe squad. He's always solid as a rifler. He's normally very reliable. Plays safe quite a lot, but that small gap in the door is used by Jerry. He makes the most of it, winning that fight against Config. Early smoke goes down, and again, it's this A play from ForZe that's working for them. Almas are now opening up onto the site itself, but blameF is still alive, still waiting patiently at the back of the bomb site. He had to do a massive amount of damage, though, from the 2-on-5, and that won't be happening. Obo probably stuck saving, and that's not even going to be allowed. ForZe just win every fight there.
Well, that's just a clean round win from ForZe. I like the aggression attempt. I'm a fan of the confidence and complexity. It certainly would work out most of the time, but it's this time that ForZe are ready for it. Poison going down, completely unaware. He was fully focused on the player who was on the floor instead of the silo extension. So that's much better from ForZe. And finally, it's been a long time since they've been able to do something like that. But is it consistent? Can they make it happen again? It was going to be a good shot from Poison as he flicks on up to FaceCrack. That's a good start.
An advantage for Complexity off the back of the AWP, this time landing the shot over at Yard. Poison hasn't been too involved in those opening fights so far either. blameF has been more involved in them, and Obo up close gets a double. That's what he had to do there on the spray down. Poison wasn't close by to help him this time, but Obo's able to get 2 for the price of 1. And now Exapower and Flit have got to go for a 2-on-4. At least they're able to sneak into hell, but Poison, well, he was ready. He doesn't get the kill he was looking for, though. Just damage done onto Flit, and that might be a way into this for ForZe. Oh, no. Ooh. Okay, another dink as well. Now both ForZe players low. This is going to be so tough.
It's almost looking unwinnable at this point, to be honest. You've got a lot of work to do. So much map control still need to be taken. Flint's going to be walking down secret. 30 seconds in play. As he walks on by, the power arrives at the top of Heaven with the flashbang ready to explode. The follow-up coming through, but it fails. And he has the Molotov for the close corners as Flit making this play into B. Sapar trying to fake it out, trying to allow time for his teammate to get this bomb planted. He's still got to deal with the potential problem inside of the site in the form of Config. He's just going to be waiting, and there it is. That's the bomb kill in the round 1, and 7 added to the tally of Complexity. I like the attempt from ForZe. They don't just lie down and die, but it doesn't work out. Complexity just having the man advantage. They had an expendable. Whoa, no way.
He died.
He goes down after the time. There was a millisecond within that. Sapar misses the shot. It's just that awkward scenario. He's just looking at him for a second, and Config lands the 1 bullet needed. Oh, there we go. Oh, what? You can't even see it. Yeah. Can't even see it. Well, that's unfortunate. Sapar will still get the ult. Yeah, money at least here for ForZe. But that's funny.
Yeah, I think that round came down to the double from Obo, though. ForZe were trying to just isolate him at ramp because they saw that Poison shot over at yard, and they knew that Poison was the man normally there to help Obo at ramp. So they just decided, let's just go for this ramp push. Let's try and gang up on him, try and just trade him out. But Obo played enough of an off angle where he could get those 2 kills, and that just about kept Complexity comfortable enough. Put them in a good enough position where the rest of the squad could recover. And wow, Config gets the spray straight through the hut. Not a bad start to the round for him.
Oh, well, good kill from the ForMat. It's going to be a 2-man advantage in play for Complexity. FaceCrack is starting to walk forward. Just 50 seconds. Shots going on by. Jerry moves forward. It's going to be 1 kill from the ForMat, and Flit and FaceCrack left alone. Just now Flit. A 1 versus 5 in total for him. He's got to try and figure out what to do here. And there's a couple of shots. Complexity, that's clean and clinical. And they'll be leading the way at the half by a minimum of 1. ForZe have another opportunity to at least pick up another round here. I think every single map so far has gone 8-7 at the half in this series. So we're going to be following the pattern, and we'll be around here for ForZe. Of course, I don't believe
props to Obo as well, by the way, because he's been top fragging this series for Complexity, and he hasn't had many highlight plays necessarily, but here on the CT side, he's playing ramp room and he's top fragging, and that's rare. Normally, if you're playing ramp, you're not getting that involved in the action a lot of the time, but he's just been solidly doing what he has to do for the team, always there, always reliable. I think sometimes we forget how young he is as well. He's only 17. Like, this guy could really go big in the future. He's already showing that he's a top player playing on Complexity. I'm loving what we're getting out of Obo right now. And ForZe finally going for this secret play with multiple players. They haven't really tested this B site too much throughout this half. They've tested it a bit in the recent rounds, but now they're going for the full-on secret play, which I've been waiting for.
Well, Config, he's been caught with a smoke in his hands so often. I feel so bad for him in these scenarios, but he stays alive and he's going to get a double kill, 2 headshots. Can he get more? Oh, he's doing so much work. 3 kills from Config, who will eventually get finished off, but he's done so much work to put his team in a real good position. It's just Flit left alone into the 1 versus 3. It's going to be a 9th round here for Complexity. It's been a fantastic half in terms of being able to recover. They got off to a very slow start, and they had to fight on the back foot. Flit has been solid, 16 kills in the half so far. He'll be looking for a little bit more, but it's on to him to make the play. He's got to get this bomb planted. In Complexity, with the 2-man advantage, have no need to make a play. So he's going to go and plant the bomb. They know it's the B-bomb site. They can just move in together as a unit now and get rid of him, but he's going to be tapping away. The first headshot's there. They're going in 1 by 1 here. Flit, he nearly has an opportunity, but he finally goes down. It's going to be a 9th round picked up for Complexity, and BlameF just securing the defuse. A pretty solid half overall coming in from Complexity after the comeback. They had a poor start, but they managed to walk away with a 9-6 lead. It's time for a short break, but we'll be right back with the rest of the action.
One more half will decide the fates of these 2 teams here in our Group B opening match. Complexity with a slight lead at the half, but heading into this T side, there's still work to be done for them. BlameF and Config both picking up some nades, and these are some early flashbangs into A.
Yeah, very quick play here coming in from Complexity, wanting to just run down the A bomb site. There's no one here. It's completely empty. They're playing passive, and while Flit, he's trying to flank and get in behind them, but they're ready for this ramp progression. Doesn't matter. FaceCrack still taking through, cracking faces all over the place. 3 picked up for him. Flit stands back forward, and it's just Poison gone. That is incredible. The ramp progression works out perfectly. FaceCrack getting 3 kills onto the Complexity players, and Flit sealing the deal with a double. That is unbelievable how that actually falls apart so badly for Complexity. They run into the A bomb site. There's no one actually in the site, but they get completely preoccupied by the aggression in towards lobby. Just come back.
Just styling on him there as well. Getting those 3 kills in quick succession. Complexity were hoping they could play the post plant from that sort of hut and squeaky position, because they planted on the far side of that. But here comes the second round force fight. Complexity got that bomb down, so they've got a couple of AKs here. Their utility is obviously limited, but just those 2 AKs alone can be very deadly. ForZe have got to be aware of this, and a bit of damage exchanged early. The power getting the better of it, though. This scout battle coming in, both of them missing again, and Zapower decides he's had enough of that. Doesn't look like we'll get a kill just yet, but definitely a bit of damage done.
Well, Flit holding on. That's not to walk forward. Good kill. Blaman's able to get rid of Flit. Now man advantage in play for Complexity. A minute, just under it. Now to play with for them. And that opening kill, that's an issue for ForZe. One that's be playing in the back of their head, wondering what part of the map are Complexity actually going to end up going towards. And they've completely avoided ramp. Instead, they're going to go elsewhere. Jerry's going to go towards outside. He might just do something here in towards hell at least, but Obo is going to get rid of him. Now Zapower needs to be ready for this. He looked away at the wrong time, and now they come forward. The shot still lands. Config going down. It's connected through the wall. And now the fight for ForZe attempted to come through, but Rush is getting kills on the Deagle. And now it's just ForZe left alone. He's going to manage one. It's Obo going down, but still 3 more to win this 1v4 in total. They'll check the close corners, but no one's peeking. No one's giving him a single chance, a slither of an opportunity. And that is a big issue for ForZe. I think he realizes winning the round now impossible with no kit, no utility. He's out of that. And it's going to be a round for Complexity. 10 on the board, and that's a good reply.
Yeah, I said it before, I'll say it again. Complexity, they have the best win rate out of any team in these second round force buys after losing the pistol. I said it earlier, it was like 52% of the rounds they win after losing the pistol. It's ridiculous, but it's working out well for them. This time, obviously, they had some AKs, which helped tremendously. As soon as they won that first fight, they got another rifle recovered as well. And then you still got the Deag of Rush, who ended up landing 2 kills in the round. And that puts ForZe in such a tough spot here. That round loss could be a real momentum booster for Complexity. It could really turn the tides of this game. Because if ForZe lose this here now, they'd have to save. Then they'd probably have to go down to a 12-7 deficit. And all of a sudden, Complexity would have a really big margin in their favor. So let's see if ForZe can do something in this round. Zapower not able to land that first scout shot. Now Complexity have heard that there's the sniper here. It doesn't look like they're willing to challenge him.
We've already seen this scenario play out as well. If you think back to Mirage, it's a close enough half. ForZe get off to a good start into the second, then Complexity win the second round force buy and go on to close it out 16-11.
Yeah.
So we know it definitely can happen. So ForZe will be very aware of that. Take a look at what Complexity have. I mean, it's a situation where they desperately need to win this round. They can't afford to take too much damage on board. Split's going to walk forward with a 5-7, gets 1 kill. How's the power? Looking for more, but Cherry's going to get aggressive. Not going to work out. Obo turns around and finds him. He barely stays alive on 16. He's taken a lot of damage on board. So a good chance here from is to perhaps to find another kill onto Obo, and there it is. The one shot needed. It lands onto the chest of Obo, and now ForZe into power, looking to do their best into this 2 versus 3.
Oh, ForZe just came up the vents. He got a kill for it, but Poison just about replies. It's into the 1v1. Zapower looking for this angle, but Poison's still behind the silo, and in fact, Poison's repositioned. Oh, and Zapower's not ready for it. Poison lands the headshot from below. The AK comes out on top against the P250. Another close round, but Complexity hold on, and that's all they had to do, because now ForZe's money is well and truly in the bin. Apart from Zapower, who's got a lot of cash, but the rest of them won't be buying much of anything here. And this is where Complexity have the chance to really run away with this and to try and make sure they can win this series.
Well, the door getting blown off. The nades coming on in. That allows ForZe to get aggressive with his Zeus. Now, this would be hilarious, but he gets a Molotov to the face, and that's not exactly the best outcome for it. So he's going to have to leave. Staying outside of the hut, at least. Complexity playing it much slower, knowing they're going up against the low buy. And they should be aware. They don't want to give away anything. They don't want to give away chances to the pistols. A rifle potentially picked up. It's a all about winning these rounds cleanly. They want to close out Nuke. He's coming in as one of the favorites for the tournament, Alex. You definitely want to make a statement in your opening matchup.
Yeah, definitely. And we're seeing that come through here. BlameF with 2 easy kills onto the A site. This was an A stack for ForZe, but it's not an A stack anymore. They've all been dealt with. I think that's one of the nice things about having these best of 3 opening games as well. You can really make that statement, even if you have maybe a slow start. You've got the best of 3 to work with. So if you are the better team, you've got to say that in the best of 3, the best team's going to win. And Complexity are trying to prove that right here. It will be a 12-7 scoreline momentarily. Flit just looking for damage at the end of this round. You can see those are powers saved up for that AWP, so that's going to be coming into play into this next round, and there's going to be a lot of pressure on ForZe in this next one. If they lose this next gun round, they fall so far behind. So this next gun round will be crucial for ForZe, and I'm sure they'll be aware of it. The pressure's about to be on them.
It's getting to the point where these next couple of rounds are do or die time. If you lose them, you're pretty much confirming yourselves a loss here on Nuke. You're going to have to fight back and really dig deep, and that becomes quite unrealistic. Even though we know how tenacious ForZe are, we talk about their mental fortitude all the time, but still, a scenario where you're up against Complexity, you're down by so many rounds, it's unrealistic to expect a comeback. Take a look at what Zapower has. It's 11 and 14, I mean, in terms of his KD. That's not exactly the performance we're seeing from Mirage. He slowed down a good bit. Flit's still there, but the power falling down a little bit is a bit of a problem for ForZe, especially because we were talking about the fact that him stepping up with Flit was exactly the reason ForZe was able to win Mirage. They were able to match the firepower of Complexity. And one missing piece for ForZe, that's Jerry. And now Jerry trying to step up. That's huge, the double headshot lineup. It's Obo and Poison both going down in this round. So clean from ForZe. Jerry with another, a 3K picked up. And across the board, ForZe just find each and every kill.
That was a little bit chaotic. I think this was at door to begin with, where FaceCrack arrives just before Rush. They both had the same idea. And then obviously Jerry lining up those kills at the end there. I think at that point, ForZe were already in a pretty good position, thanks to those prior kills they'd found. There was a little bait and switch down towards the B side as well, where FaceCrack dropped down the vent, drew the attention of Config, and allowed his teammate to get that kill. It's still a buy for Complexity, though, into this next round, and the deeper yard smokes coming through. This allows you to try and be a bit sneaky if you want to. Jerry's actually going to move off the back of it. Flashes come in. That was a team flash. That second one blinds him, and FaceCrack ends up getting the flash assist, sadly, on his teammate's death. That's a shame, and now Rush has got another kill. ForZe this time losing horribly in these opening fights.
Well, Config, he's going to spray away. Flick going down. A nice frag to find. Now Mizer and Zapower. What can they do here? Absolutely nothing is the answer. And Mizer taking a headshot, Rush gone. The man advantage, yep, still doubled for Complexity. The round has already been won. And the AWP saved over it. That's the best outcome available to ForZe, unfortunately. Well, Mizer's going to go down to BlameF. So now it really is the only weapon in play, and Zapower has to get this into the next round. We know he's an AWPer capable of turning rounds around on his own. You know, stepping up and being that hero that ForZe need. We've seen that on Mirage even. In the 1 versus 4 clutch, he can do stuff with this AWP that is sometimes unbelievable. So him having this AWP in the next round is still a chance available for ForZe to win the round, especially with all of the weapons available for the rest of the team. I'll get the rifles out. They've been missing a bit of utility. But nonetheless, you want the guns out as much as possible, especially since we're getting into the late stages now where it's looking like Complexity might just be taking this.
Yeah, I wonder if Jerry called for a flash over at Yard and then 2 of his teammates both threw a flash at similar times, because that seemed like Jerry just wasn't ready for that second flashbang. And you'd think if they communicated that they were both flashing, that he'd be able to wait for them both. But he peeks with the first flash, second one blinds him. And unfortunately, that gives away that opener, and that's part of why Complexity were able to turn that into a round win. 13-8. As you were saying, Zapower saving over that AWP might give them something. He hasn't been just as impactful in general, though. He's not been as involved here. He's not got a single opening kill so far on Nuke, which is a big difference from how he was playing on those previous maps. So hopefully that can change sooner rather than later, because Complexity are only 3 rounds away from victory here in this Group B opening matchup. Looked like Power was jumping up there, but Almeza doesn't get the kill, and now the A site is wide open. Oh, no.
This might just be it done, Alex. They don't have the resources to get back in here. ForZe, it's heartbreaking, but I think there has to be the save call. They haven't found anything. The utility's done already. Basically, you have one player left, and it's the Power with the utility, and you don't want to put him in a position where he can lose this off. And with that kill, it is done. You just cannot win this now at this point. Brilliant call from Complexity. I'm a huge fan of that. That is just a quick change in pace. Utility's on point. The flashbangs are there. You get the hard opening from Config. Almeza can't get anything done. As soon as he goes down without a single kill, the chances of ForZe winning the round, done. So 14-8, 2 rounds away for Complexity taking this series. And this, I was hoping for a really close affair on this third map. Everything aligned to it, everything lined up, but I guess Complexity are just too strong on this map.
Yeah, it looks like it. And like you said earlier, it's somewhat reminiscent of Mirage, where that second round win for Complexity just puts them on the right path to victory, even after losing the pistol. And that's a really strong asset for this team to have. If they can keep on winning those second rounds, they can put themselves in great spots like this where they control the game. Same play for Power. Didn't work out last time because no one strayed into his crosshair. This time the Orc might have the chance. There it is. Good shot onto Config. He can back away, having given his team the man advantage. I'm sure that's what he envisioned in the last round, but it's this time that it works out, and he almost arrives in time to get another kill, but it's Split who's about to be pressured, and he's not ready for rush. That B site is coming under pressure quickly.
Well, Fizzcrack holds on from Decon. The door is wide open, and he's got a smoke in his hands. And it goes through. I think they're completely aware of him being here. Smoke goes down and saves his life. At least keeps him alive for a bit longer. But the utility is solid from Complexity. The kills are even better with BlameF shutting down the Power. And Jerry stuck in the vent, moving forward. Rush trying to find him, but that's a good kill. A second as well from Jerry. And now there's a small chance for ForZe to get back into this. Obo's position is incredibly strong. They move forward as ForZe. They've got the advantage, but still, they've got 2 low HP players, and the crossfire is solid, and Obo is even better. There it is. 3 kills for Obo. That is unbelievable stuff. 3 kills and a map point secured for Complexity.
That's so clean. Insta headshot, turns around, another kill. He makes it look easy. He makes it look like he's shooting bots, but I can assure you those are top players he's up against there, and he absolutely cleanly takes them all out of the round. Beautifully done by Obo. We were singing his praises earlier for his level of consistency. He's kept it up here on Nuke. He's had 3 very good maps for Complexity, and now just 1 round away from victory, and Poison has already opened it up. 4 more kills for Complexity to get this win.
Well, Complexity, you have to remember as well, they get off to a pretty slow start here on Nuke. ForZe had a lot of round wins going their way. And Complexity, yeah, just steamrolled this. I believe it was 5 at one point.
I got turned around.
Yeah. And well, BlameF, good double kill. This should be it now. Just Jerry and Almeza left alone. Jerry's back in the garage. He's shut down by Poison, and Almeza, the last remaining player. He's got a lot to do, and it just isn't realistic for any human being, but he's got 2 kills. He's got a FAMAS as well. I think at this point, Complexity just take a deep breath and realize this close this. Player after player, it's Poison that takes the headshot. 16-8. A big performance from Complexity. A couple of shaky plays throughout the matchup, but that's to be expected coming back out of the player break. But overall, Complexity still looking solid, the map pool's looking good, and all the individuals are showing up today.
Yeah, the crowd loving it, of course. I think I see Jason Lake in there somewhere celebrating with all the virtual crowds. He'll be happy with this. Good, solid win for Complexity. I think they did what they had to do. Obo looking great. BlameF was involved in a lot of the early parts of the rounds as well. Even here on Nuke, he got 6 opening kills. That was cool to see. And then he was really good at cooling around himself. After he got that opening kill, he seemed to know the response that ForZe would go for. Just really well played throughout by Complexity. I think they'll be happy with this.
Yeah, I think Complexity coming into this, obviously one of the favorites for the entire tournament. I'm looking forward to seeing what Complexity can do moving into the next matchups, and a pretty good performance from ForZe as well. One of the teams that have been struggling here and there, but it's going to be time for a short break. When we return, we'll have the post-match breakdown from the desk, so don't go anywhere.